Rubber burns under the smoky sky. Steel beats racing on the line. The thrill of speed makes the cold pour shine. Welcome to Pitlane Pour, where the engines scream and the spirits soar. Grab a drink, feel the thunder roar. This is the place you've been looking for.
And welcome into Pitlane Pour, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a special one. The podcast is where we normally have horsepower meets happy hour. I'm your host, Sean. I'm here with my brothers Michael and Tim. And today we are trading apexes for elapsed times and driving straight into the world of NHRA drag racing. Joining us today is Jordan DaCosta, a driver that lives life a quarter mile at a time. All right, y'all. Here comes Jordan now. Please give him a loud clap. Hey, Jordan. How's it going, man?
Good. There's a lot of clapping going on.
We had to give you some claps, man, having you come on the podcast.
Yeah. How are you guys?
So, we're good, man. We're good. Just the busy days of life involve getting home after work. How are you doing today, man?
Same here. Rough day on the job, for sure.
Rough day on the job today?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. So, Jordan, I got to start the question right off. So you got your NHRA license in 3 days, dude. Like, is that normal? Is that typical? Like, is that quick?
Normally a licensing for one class takes 1 to 2 days. But I did 7 within the 3 days.
Dang, son.
We did actually publicly we did 7 classes, but we really did 9 classes. But those are still on hold because I have to finish them. We weren't able to finish the other stuff. So it was a lot. I flew there and pretty much started driving right away, and then I got out of the car that Sunday and then went straight to the airport. So pretty much like every 30 minutes I was driving a car for the whole weekend, which was awesome.
That's crazy. So, Jordan, we have a tradition here on Pitlane Pour that we jump in and we talk about right off the bat what we're drinking tonight during the podcast. So, I'd like to actually start with you since you're our special guest. What are you drinking this evening? I know you're not 21 and all, but...
Yeah. I actually have an empty Dr. Pepper that I just finished.
Hey, so. Dr. Pepper!
We're not drinking
Boys, I called that one. So, it's funny. We did a run through last night. I was like, I bet you money he brings in a Dr. Pepper. 100% hands down, man.
My favorite.
It's your favorite. Why is it your favorite, though?
I don't know. I just prefer it more than any other soda. My second is root beer, but
okay,
that's from the fountain. I like root
that's
beer
from the fountain?
Yeah.
From the fountain, yeah.
Gotcha. So, Michael, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking good old garage beer.
A good old garage beer.
The garage is always open.
All right. And Timmy, what are you drinking tonight?
I actually have a little spring seasonal one. It's a Samuel Adams blackberry wheat beer.
Okay.
So it's
all right. And of course, I'm just going to support a little Weinstefaner out of Germany. It's a good little beer. Little classic.
Beer guys. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hence the name Pitlane Pour, man. I mean, horsepower meets the happy hour, man.
Yeah.
But don't worry, Jordan. I got you a little bit too. You got my little water with me, man. So
awesome.
Got you. See. So, Michael, why don't you start out the questions with Jordan today?
All right, man. When did you first fall in love with racing, and what age were you?
I've been around racing for quite some time, but it was always just me going to the track and our friends were racing and things of that sort. We've always had classics or cars that we built. Since I was little, I was always wrenching on cars with my dad, but nothing crazy to the caliber of what I'm doing now. Um, but then we actually started doing fabrication and welding for other people's race cars in Long Island, New York, which is where I'm from. And then as we kind of did that, we moved to Florida about 4 years ago now. And I so happened to move 5 minutes from Bradenton Motorsports Park, one of the number one tracks in the country. And of course, we went to a couple of events, and then I think two events in, we were like, okay, it's time to get something. And then we kind of started off with another S10, not the S10 I have now. This one was a square body, and I practiced all summer long in it every Thursday racing, and that's kind of where it started everything.
Sweet,
Good
man.
deal,
So
man.
I know just from this previous weekend, you actually raced down in Bradenton this weekend, correct? This
Yes,
last one?
yes. I raced in the U.S. Street Nationals. It's a three-race series called the Drag Illustrated Winter Series. So it was the second race of the series. It's a championship series. So actually, in about 20 days, I'll be back there racing the World Series of Pro Mod, which is the final race of the series in my class, which is Little Gangsters. It's an invite-only class. It's a fan favorite class. The fans love it. Everybody loves it. There's a lot of different cars that are racing in it. So we got screw blower cars racing. We got turbo cars like myself, nitrous cars, all motor cars. No power adder there. So you see a vast difference in every single car, from Fords to Chevys to Hemi-powered engines. So it's definitely a different class, but that's what makes it fun, and the fans love it.
So I got to ask, how'd you do? How'd you do this weekend, man?
Well, we had a lot of troubles from the last race, Snowbirds, up until this past weekend. We actually needed a new converter, and we knew we needed a new one. So after Snowbirds last month, we took it out, sent it out to get fixed. Ended up making it. They made it worse, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
So we had to go to another company and get another one quickly done, and then that one didn't work. Then they made another one. That one didn't work. And then it was basically it was actually Thursday last week. We kind of gave up in the sense of we tried everything we can to make the converter work, and it just wasn't working out. And then kind of just gave up. Said, I guess we can't race. We got to wait until we get the right one. And then somebody lent us one. It wasn't to our exact specs of what we needed, but it would make do to make a somewhat clean run down the track, meaning full speed, nothing crazy, but to the point where we could actually make it down the track cleanly. So we did that. The car did everything we wanted it to do. We ended up losing the first round, but it was a close one. But the car, in the sense of it's a brand new build. We built it about a month ago. In 20 days, we switched it from nitrous to a turbo platform, which is a hefty change to make in the beginning of a season or in the beginning of a big series. And we had shifter problems, converter problems, wiring issues that, just gremlins that we were trying to figure out. And everything kind of came to fruition that round, and everything ended up working. So we were super pleased with that. Normally, I'm pretty upset if I don't have a good outing, but I was very pleased with how the car performed, to what it's supposed to be doing. So we already put the new converter in actually on Monday. I'm going to go testing tomorrow night, and then if everything goes well, there's a little race at another track in Florida that I might do just to get some more seat time and data so that in 20 days when I have the big final race, we're ready to win some rounds.
Heck yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah. Tim, you got the next one?
Yeah, hey, Jordan. So, what type of racing did you follow at an early age?
Uh, well, there was really never, I guess, a certain series or type. I always loved cars, and that's how I was brought up, and the Cars movies and all that sort of stuff. So we were specifically always in drag racing, and then the other side of my family actually does more so of the road course type of racing. So they're into that. So I was around the go karting scene, the IMSA scene for uh, you know quite some time growing up, and we have always, me and my father specifically, have always been more in tune with the drag racing side. So then, when we took the leap to get into it, it was quite an easy decision to go forward with that.
Nice.
Sweet. Heck yeah. So, at what age did you start racing, and what was the first car you got to drive, man?
So I started, I believe it was at 15. And when I moved here, it was 15 or 16. I didn't have my license yet. And I actually had to get like this whole waiver thing notarized and everything to be able to drive down the track. And then I had to get an NHRA license uh, for that. It was a simple license because there's a bunch of licenses you can get under the NHRA, but I had to get one of their basic ones, and that was in my old Nitrous S10, which was a square body, small block setup, and uh, I didn't per se race it, meaning enter into a race, but I did all my testing in it before I got my new car, and then did races in that new car.
Cool. Sweet, man.
Nice.
Michael.
What is your favorite series to drive in?
Well, it's tough because right now I'm trying to grow in the NHRA, and uh, obviously This is my second year competing in the Drag Illustrated Winter Series. Um, it's hard to say, which series I like the best. I had a lot of fun in both. They both have their huge differences. They're two totally different stages to race on from a driver's perspective and even from a business perspective as well. But I definitely have always loved the DI Winter Series because it's what I started out in. It's grassroots. It's where I could race with my family, and it's a lot of fun, but it's also extremely competitive.
Sweet.
Sounds good.
Do you see yourself like growing in the winter series?
Yes. There's obviously faster, quicker, I guess you would say higher elevation classes. There's a couple of classes that I'm interested in. It's just about getting the right funding in place and team in place and, kind of everything coming together. Ideally would be Pro Mod, which is their top class. It's their Pro Mod is the quickest cars with doors in the world. They go 3 seconds at anywhere from 210 miles an hour to 220 ish, depending on what power adder you have, because you could have a screw blower, you could have a turbo. When you have a turbo Pro Mod, you get higher top end speed in mile an hour. A Hearts Pro Charger or um, even nitrous as well. So that's another vast, difference in power adders and everything. But it's highly competitive. It's invite only. They invite 80 cars, 80 pro mods, and only 32 qualify. So more than half of your field is sent home. And it's as close to as the bump, meaning in your ET. So you could have a 355 ET, meaning you went 3.55 seconds in the eighth mile. Their bump to get out of the qualifying and not qualify out of that 32 field is like 355 to a 357, and that's really really close. So it's very hard to qualify
Yeah.
in there, and if you
Dang.
do, it's a big thing if you do it for the first time, and it's crazy. And then also like their payouts, they actually have this really really cool, neat thing that they did this year. was the Elite Million. So if you win the Snowbirds race, the second race, and then the third race, so basically if you win the whole series, all races, three in a row, you win $1 million. Yeah, and every
Wow.
race even
Whoa.
has high payouts too. Like the Snowbirds race, I believe was 50,000. This race, U.S. Street Nationals, was 75,000, and then um, the World Series of Pro Mod, which is at the end of next month, will be 150,000. So it's high payouts. Like my class,
Big
it's
money.
20 grand per race.
Damn.
So it's even high payouts for
Wow.
the slower classes as well. It's pretty insane.
So I mean, so I know we're gonna keep going on questions, but I got to jump in because you said you were talking pro mods. It was our first time getting to watch some drag. Well, at least my first time getting to watch drag racing this
Mhm.
weekend because of you. I was looking for you on Friday on Amazon, and man, I tell you what, I was so intrigued on how fast they were going. I mean, and just seeing that like where you said that bump line, that was nuts, dude. Like I was like, there were so many that were so close.
There are so many teams that are just biting their fingernails, waiting to see if they made the cut or not. And there's so many good drivers and teams that actually are champions of the series that did not even qualify this race or the last race or even maybe the next race. So it just shows how like the competition is at an all-time high. They only invite the best of the best drivers, best of the best teams, and it just really shows how competitive it is to have your ex-champion of last year not even qualify or lose first round right away. So it's kind of crazy being able to watch that and be there, this weekend and see everybody, stressing out about it. It's kind of crazy. Luckily, like my class, there's only 64 drivers invited, but everybody qualifies and they go into round one. So it makes the rounds a lot longer. So instead of having 4 rounds, I think it is you have like six or more, maybe if I did the math right. But based off of that ladder, all 64 qualify, which is nice because it's less stress for us. But then making it those rounds more rounds than the normal 4 that you normally have in a 32 qualifying sheet, you have to go more. So it makes the longevity of the weekend kind of go by a little longer, and it gets more stressful as it goes.
Sweet.
Hey, Jordan, what was your inspiration for getting behind the wheel?
Um, in the beginning, it was definitely because I've seen a lot of my dad's other friends racing, and I've been around it. And I've always thought it was really cool, and I kind of did. I just looked at it as a big hobby, and then it really branched out into what it is today as more so a business instead of just a hobby. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, I kind of got some inspiration from now mentors, and kind of got told why don't you have any sponsors on the car. And then a week later we drew up proposals, and fast forward to now, I have over 25 partners and have done a lot of great things with people. And I never thought it would become this. I never thought, when I first started, it would become this, because I always looked at it as a hobby. I never thought I was able to uh, be worthy enough of building something like this, because I wasn't born into it. I didn't have mentors. I just built everything self-made, and it's really cool. I like it a lot.
Sweet,
Awesome.
man. So, with that being said, you're big into NHRA. Who's your favorite NHRA driver of all time? And then also, I'm curious, who's your Mount Rushmore? So, your top four.
Okay. It's so tough because a lot of them now, because I'm a crazy networker, are my friends. Um,
Yeah.
so, so it's hard to pick
Good.
and choose, but like I'd probably say like most inspiring, like my number one is John Force. He is an idol. He is one of the only self-made drivers in drag racing that has made a career in drag racing itself. Most drivers have businesses that have their own personal businesses that pay to race. John Force is essentially I'm doing what he's doing in the sense of building a brand and then making a business out of racing and getting those sponsors to come in, and that's what he still has today. It's not like he owns uh, some big company and that's how he's paying for it. It's one of those things where it took him years and years to build, and I think it's inspiring. And still today, there's a lot of people that don't even know drag racing, and they still know who John Force is because of what he has been able to do. And that also brings me to another point. Uh, NHRA just launched a new TV series, which is huge for the sport. It's very much alike like the Drive to Survive show and the NASCAR. I forget what the NASCAR show is called, but it's on Netflix. Um, it's very much like that. It's like a documentary series, featuring the drivers and really showing uh, the fans and people that don't know what drag racing is, and that's one of the things that they featured on their first episode last week. It's on Hulu. It's on Vice TV, on Hulu, on a lot of the streaming platforms. It's really good. Actually, tonight at 9 o'clock, episode 2 drops. So I'm gonna be watching that
Yeah.
later tonight.
That's cool.
Sweet.
I actually got to see John Force race in Bristol, Tennessee. It was the very first time I ever got to see NHRA.
Yeah, I actually, Bristol was my second ever NHRA race I went to. I was actually working for a team. This was 2 summers ago for Tony Schumacher's team, which he's the winningest driver in Top Fuel, 8-time world champion. I got to work with his team, which was really cool, and experience nitro for the first time, and I guess that's what got me hooked.
I could see it with your smile, man. You're
Yeah.
all excited about that right there.
Dude, you cannot compare it from watching it on your TV to then being in person. You could feel it in your body. You feel it in your teeth, your feet, your organs. You feel
Yeah.
the amount of power these cars have. Each car has 11 to 12,000 horsepower, and the amount of G's you're pulling from start, and then you actually pull more G's when you let off the throttle and hit the chutes. You feel more negative G's than you would feel the positive ones when you go. So just standing there and smelling the nitro, you'll tear up. You'll start choking actually. But it's one of those things where people like literally love it. It's a great smell. It's a great feeling to be around it, and I miss it. It's been probably like 3 months since I've been around nitro, and I miss it a lot.
Dude, I know I reached out to my uncle, and my uncle Dana, I was like, hey man, do you know anything about NHRA? Because like we've talked about it a little bit, and he's like, yeah man, I've been going to like some races for like the last 20 years. And he's like, there's nothing like the smell of it. And he's like, he's like, you got to go with me one of these days. And I was like, you know what? I would
You
love
have
to.
to. You
Would
have
love
to.
to.
You have
It's
to
a lot
walk
of
through the
fun.
pits.
A lot of people
Oh
end up
man.
having to walk away because it gets so bad. A lot of the fans will stand when they warm up the cars in the pits. And another thing I want to add before I say that is a huge thing because I know you guys are into F1 and NASCAR and all that, those series. Drag racing is for the fans. And what I mean by that is it's the only sport that fans could be right at the car.
Mm.
The only
Yeah.
sport where you guys could actually come and see the guys working on the car, you could smell it, sit in it. If the driver wants to let you come in, it's a great sport in that sense for fan engagement, and that's why I'm always trying to bring in new fans because that's what we need to keep the sport alive. But fans just have all access, and every ticket is a pit pass, they say, and it's true. I have kids that come up and they sit in my cars and get to turn it on and warm it up with me, and it's just an awesome thing to be able to show what we're building, and that's why I feel drag racing is the best motorsport there is because of that engagement that you could have with the fans. and with your teams and everything.
Sweet, man. So
Kinda
we
got some
definitely know that you
chills
got
after
John
listening to
Force.
all that
Yes.
now.
So we got John Force. So we got three.
So
Hold on, Michael. We got three more. He's still got to go. He's got the Rushmore.
so how
Yes.
did you get involved with Bishop
Okay, another
Performance
one.
Motorsports?
Oh, he's
Oh, I'm
asking the
sorry.
next
Go ahead.
question.
I totally jumped the gun. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we said John Force. Buddy Hull is another one. He's a funny car driver, but before he was a funny car driver, he was a top fuel driver. He is actually one of my mentors. I talk to him weekly. He's a great, great guy, and he's opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't think were possible and I never thought about. And he's helping me in some great ways, kind of form my career and help me with some advice. And he's also a really good driver. This year, he actually, for 2026, for the season, he'll actually be a team owner this year. He was the owner before, and then he went to a team, and now he's back to being a team owner. And in the sport, that's a big deal because being a driver and a team owner is very hard. And he's gonna make it happen, and I'm excited to see what he could do. And then we got, gosh, it doesn't even have to be professionals. I would say Chris Bishop, my team owner in the NHRA. He's such a great guy. He believes in my vision every single day. He took the chance on me, in 2025, and he believes to bet on Jordan every day, which sometimes I don't know why he does, but he's a true believer in what I'm building, and he's always dreamed of what I dream of every single day. So having that support and belief and everything I'm trying to do and do with them or without them, it is a huge deal, and I'm grateful for him. And he's a great driver, great mentor, and also my teammates. He's mentored my teammates, and my teammates are some of the best racers out there. And every weekend I was with them, we won. We won a race every single weekend. So it was a big deal to be with them. It was very cool. We got one more, right?
One more, man.
Yeah, one more.
God. There's so many. There's a lot. Um, I have to say Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart, I think it's great that he's in this sport. It's done a lot for the sport, bringing his fan base that didn't really know what drag racing was into the sport. And not only that, I don't know if you guys pay attention to what he's been doing, but he owns TSR, which is Tony Stewart Racing, which he drove Top Fuel for. This year, well, no, I'm wrong. So he owns TSR, Tony Stewart Racing, which his wife, Leah Pruitt, was driving for him, and then she got pregnant, and when you do that, you have to step out of the seat. So for a year, he went into this, actually, no, 2 seasons, he went into the seat for her and filled in. Now, 2026, she's kicking him out of the seat, and she's going to be driving for him. But what's even
That's how it goes.
cooler is he is going to be driving for another team that he does not own. So basically,
Oh,
he's
wow.
competing against
Oh,
the
wow.
team that he owns and his wife. But something that's really, really cool is the team that he's on is named Elite Motorsports, and they're a pro stock team. So pro stock is 5 gears. It's cars, door slamming cars, and it's 5 gears on a Liberty, so it's straight gears, five. One of the hardest cars to drive in really any motorsport form because they have a clutch and everything is off of that timing of when you shift, and it's a highly, highly competitive class. But the Elite Motorsports is a huge team. They have like over 10 pro stock cars. Very, very one of the largest teams in the NHRA. But they got a top fuel car. They got Tony Stewart to be driving for them. But not only are they going to be competing against each other, what they have done, which I think is really cool because I'm obviously big into the business side, is they're sharing partners. TSR and Elite launched a new model basically that nobody has ever seen in the NHRA where two separate teams are working together with their partners um, to create business to business and business to consumer campaigns and essentially kind of unite in a sense of sharing partners and sharing data and sharing all these different things to kind of strive all together. And it's something that I think a lot of teams are going to be doing to help because I don't know if you guys know how much uh, it is to run a nitro team, but it's expensive. It's about, for just one car team, one driver, I don't know how much crew it is. I believe it's 10 plus crew members, but then think you got people that are in the office working in marketing and billing and all that stuff. It costs 10 million a year.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's extremely expensive. So a lot of teams struggle with funding. That's the number one, uh, you know, biggest shortfall of every team is the funding, and that's why a lot of teams are part time in the NHRA because they just can't afford uh, to go out there and race. And also another thing with nitro cars, if you go down the track and you had to double step it, or you blew the blower and uh, you blew a hole and you were out two holes, two cylinders. That's about 100 grand plus in just 3 seconds that you just spent. So
Wow.
it's hard. So that's why like Tony Stewart and Elite doing what they're doing is a huge eye opener for a lot of teams, and I think a lot of teams are gonna go through with that marketing model to kind of collide and kind of lean on each other, even though they're competitors, lean on each other because at the end of the day, everybody just has, the dream of racing, and that's what it's about. But then when you're in the seat next to them and you got to race, then all bets are off pretty much.
Right. Oh, all right, Michael, go ahead now.
All right. So what got you involved with Bishop Performance Motorsports?
So I was looking for a path because there's many pathways, just like you guys know in NASCAR and F1. You could start off in go karting and then kind of work your way up and then into other series, and that's how you go. And there's a path. Normally, the path is for those types of forms of what you guys follow is pretty straightforward of the path somebody's going to go. If their dream is to go to F1, they have a certain path that most people go, and that's just pretty much how you do it. You don't just jump from one thing to the next. In NHRA, it's very different. You could basically jump straight into a top fuel car and never race anything else. And people have done it. They're crazy, but people have done it. And my biggest thing was I'm not born into the sport. I didn't have any connections. I was desperately, looking for a mentor, somebody that could kind of help shape my path. And there's so many classes that I don't even know about and learn about to this day. And it was just one of those things where I was searching for a team that can kind of help form my path or help me get an idea to what my path could be in terms of what class do I have to race, and then what's next after this? How many years should I compete in this until I get to this level, all the way up to top fuel? And experience is key, obviously. So I was able to find them. I found them online. Had no idea who they were. Sent them a message. I sent Chris Bishop, the team owner, a message, and minutes after he said that the team manager AJ, would give me a call, and later that week we had a contract signed and we had an announcement to all the news outlets in racing that I joined the team, and it was just looking back because I haven't thought about this in a while. How everything happened, it was very surreal. very, very surreal. Because I just never thought I would find a team at the level I wanted to be at and know I could compete in, um, to kind of accept me and be like, okay, because I've talked to a lot of teams and continue to talk to a lot of different mentors and things, and it's hard. And their, right off the bat belief and that, I mean, it was multiple times a day, phone calls of planning and everything we had to do because I basically joined their team in the middle of the season last year. So it was like, okay, what are we going to do schedule wise? What can we do? Because um, another thing that you guys may think is I had a full ride and it was free. It wasn't. That's how NHRA works. It's not like any other motorsport. The drivers are fully dependent on coming with the money, whether you're a team owner or you're joining the team as just a driver. So I had to come up with the funding for it. I was able to find a partner to cover half the funding, and then I was lucky enough to work my butt off for, I've been working since the age of 14, and I saved, pretty much spent everything in my savings just to go and debut in this. But it's a huge investment, and it was definitely well worth it because I wouldn't be talking with you guys if I wasn't at this point.
Gotcha.
That's pretty amazing.
That is
It
pretty
really
cool.
is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, so when you're getting ready to like race that day,
hmm
what's like a typical, like your typical routine, your rhythm that you do either before you get in the car or the day of?
Throughout the race week, I'm a early riser because that's all I think about is getting in the seat, strapping in, and for some reason I can't sleep and I'm up pretty much at all hours of the night. So I'm an early riser. If I'm supposed to be there at 9 o'clock, I'll be there at 6 a.m. to start setting up. I like to actually be there before any of my crew or family is there, because I'm a neat freak and I like to set everything up the way I think it's supposed to be set up. So this past week, I basically had no sleep. I was running off of fumes. But waking up early, getting to the track, setting everything up, like my merch, and taking the car out, getting everything, doing the maintenance I need to on the car, doing all that stuff. And then that week, I'm eating very healthy. I may not eat that healthy or drink that healthy, during the off weeks I have, but I like to eat as healthy as possible. And then something I've been doing since I actually joined Bishops is I do cardio every day, to stay in shape for, you know, driving. And the lighter you are in a drag car is the better it's going to perform. So that's another thing I've been working on, for the past few months.
Okay.
All right, all right. So you just covered my next question on what your physical training is for getting ready for a race and stuff. But so we'll skip that for a second. But my other question is so you said you have merch.
Mhm.
Is there a way for us to find the merch somewhere? Is there a way for us to support you in that aspect, or how do we go about that?
So right now, specifically my own branded merch, I don't have online yet. I am in the process of building a website and platform for all of that. It takes a long time to actually build a website. It's very hard to do. So we're doing that. But I do have merch that's always available on track, and then I'm actually in the process of making a new line of merch for this DI Winter Series. And I'll be posting it all on Facebook and everything, how to order and how to get everything. And then I also do merch and mystery bags through one of my partners' Dream Giveaway, to where when you enter in to win a car, and I believe I forgot how much it is, but when you enter to win using the code Nitro, you get a mystery bag, plus you get the entries to win any car that you're entering in. So it's another cool way that we work together. The fans get merch, and I have some hero cards and other goodies and stickers and everything that's in the mystery bags.
So with that being said, Tim, will you bring up
Yeah.
what you just brought up to me before the podcast started?
Yeah. So I was watching one of your videos, I think that you had just posted
Mhm.
on YouTube, and you had a car giveaway. I think it was like the 57 Chevy.
Yes, yes, the Bel Air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any help in building that, or are you just helping promote it? Like, I didn't know what you actually did with
Yeah,
that project.
I don't necessarily do any of the rehab work on those cars. I'm not even sure if the Dream Giveaway really has to do much on them because they are pretty much factory style. Most of their
Right.
cars are brand new, and especially their classics, they try to preserve. But with Dream Giveaway, I do a lot of the promotion stuff, and then
Right.
we give back everything to charity. So we're partnered with like I'd say like 5 to 10 different charities that we do everything with. And if you look on their website, they're giving away like 20 different giveaways, and each giveaway normally is 2 cars included. So like the Bel Air is actually one of the only giveaways in the garage we have that's just 1 car. Like right now, we're giving away like a Bronco Raptor and the new uh, Mustang S650 together in a pair. So like if you entered and you won, you get both and the taxes are paid. So
Oh
it's
my God.
Wow.
it's insane and they give it's awesome to be a part of and when I'm able to go to their garage and do the giveaway ceremonies when the winners get to come and pick up the cars and we do like a big party for them. It's so awesome like seeing their faces like they they're like,
I bet.
honestly, I thought this was a scam and I got the call and I ignored it 5 times, but now I'm here and I've got the keys to 2 cars and a bunch of goodies and it's those
Yeah.
responses we get all the time, but it's so awesome to see it on their faces like, oh my gosh, I just got 2 brand new fast cars. It's awesome. We just one of my favorites actually because I love the Escalade V. We gave away this gorgeous, gorgeous red Escalade V with a CT5V Blackwing in matching red. So, two
Dang.
gorgeous, gorgeous cars, and we
Oh
gave
man.
away both of those. And I was honestly like, guys, we can't give this away. I need it. I got to drive it and move it around their warehouse, and it was just a dream to drive. It was awesome.
Were those two red Cadillacs that you sent me on pictures wise?
On you're talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Jordan. Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, I guess I think that's the only Cadillacs I've ever
Yeah,
taken.
there was two red Cadillacs that you sent me like for promotional purposes, and I'm like, man, those are beautiful. And you're just sitting there like, yeah, these are. I was like, damn, are those
Yeah,
his?
probably. We shoot a lot of commercials and stuff with all their giveaways. They're doing a black Escalade V again. This is their third Escalade. I guess everybody loves the Escalades, but
I guess so.
this is their third Escalade V that they're giving away. They just announced that last week.
Dang.
When you do the commercials with them, do you get to do any like driving scenes with the vehicles and stuff like that? Is that how it works?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I get to drive them around town, or sometimes like with other drivers they're partnered with. Just
Yeah.
based on schedule, they take the cars to the track, depending on what car it is, of course. They take them down the track and things like that. I got to drive a couple of their cars, and one of the cars that surprised me was the new Jeep. I guess it's like the Wrangler, but it's the 392. The 392
Yes.
Jeep. I
Yeah.
was like
Mm.
really, really impressed with it, and it sounded awesome. To me, almost was like a G Wagon, but just Jeep branded because of the horsepower, the sound, and the luxury. Just Jeep branded. It was really nice.
So a little fun fact there, Jordan. You just made Tim's whole day by talking about Jeeps because he's a
Yeah.
big old
Yeah,
Jeep guy.
boy.
I'm a big Jeep guy. Yeah.
We all got Jeeps except for Shawnee boy. He ain't got
Yeah.
one.
He used to. He used to.
All right, let's go into the next one, guys.
All
So
right. So, fun fact. You had 20 sponsorships by the time you were 18. How did you end up being able to accomplish that?
Whew. Uh, I actually get a lot of DMs with that same exact question from aspiring drivers or aspiring people that want to work on the business side in racing, or really anybody that's trying to build a brand or build something. And I always tell them that's a broad question. You should be more specific. But what I always tell them, it's a factor of so many different things. Like, partnerships nowadays are not about the Red Bull sticker I could put on my car. Like, they can care less what the logo looks like on the car. They care more about, what it is now in 2026 is more about the social media, what you could bring to the table in terms of a business to business connection. So, like, if you're partnered with Red Bull and you're partnered with a trucking company, how can we get the two to work together? And how can the trucking company make money off of working with Red Bull? And then how could Red Bull save money with going with this trucking company? So it's like a full time job trying to do these partnerships, but that's just how it is nowadays, and you have to have that. But um, it's also about how you present yourself on social media, and you're authentically sharing, your journey, your life. Some people are more private than others. I'm pretty out there. You look me up, it's out there. So my life is very unpublic. So it just depends on where you want to take it, and it all depends upon, really how hard you want to go into it is how you'll get it. And I'm a true believer in, if you don't stop, you're gonna get there. And I said that to myself last year before I even met my team in the NHRA, and last year before I won my races and everything. I knew I was gonna do it. I've done a lot of I'm not a big believer in manifesting, but with some things I am. Like, funny story, but one of my race suits, when you drive a dragster, so the rail cars that are skinny and long, like a top fuel dragster, you need these supports that are on the suit connected here so that your arms don't come out of an open, cockpit car. Just a safety reason, and you only have that when you drive a dragster. And I had nothing lined up to drive a dragster, didn't know anybody with a dragster. But when I ordered the suit, I said, put the safety restraints on there, because I know if I work hard enough, I'm going to get in one. And then a month later, I joined Bishop's and I drove one. So, weird manifestation story, but it ended up working because I knew, like, if I continued doing what I was doing and got better every single day, learned something new every single day, I'm good. And I still try to believe that, every single day, but sometimes, like, it's hard. And I have people like text me like, how do you stay so driven? It's so hard. And there's so many emotions that you go through, days where, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do this anymore. Like, this is, getting to be a lot, with social media and partners and finding funding and schedules and everything. It's hard. It's a lot. It's more than a full-time job, honestly. And you have to just be dedicated. And then there's things that remind you every day, to, reasons. This is why I do what I do, and that's how people feel about what they love doing. And if you love doing it, just go after it.
Sweet man.
who who are your top three sponsors?
Top three right now is Dream Giveaway. We got Simpson
Mm,
Race Products, which I'm sure you guys know of them. They're great partners of mine. We just actually expanded our partnership into 2026. And then I actually have a great local restaurant that is a huge partner, Poblano's Mexican Bar and Grill. Um, they are awesome. If you guys are ever here in Bradenton, come by the restaurant, let me know. I'll take you guys there. And they're just an awesome family. They come out to the races every time every time I'm racing, they're there watching me and supporting me. So having that in-person support is like awesome. And, being able to work with them because they're, just down the road from me makes it so easy to do car shows and different marketing campaigns and things like that. And we're almost hitting our 1 year in like 2 months. So it's a great partnership. Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Awesome.
So, what's the typical path that's taken to like be a professional NHRA driver? Like, and then like also like, what's your path, and where do you want to go with it?
I would like to know what is my path. I don't know. It's it's one of those things where it's always up in the air. But a typical path, it seriously depends on what class you want to compete in. Like if I wanted to compete in pro stock, I wouldn't be in licensing and dragster classes because why would I do that? It's just there's so many classes in the NHRA that you really got to kind of, I guess, be specific with what you want to do. Um, I have many class favorites, and I would be blessed to compete in any one of them. But one that has always stood out to me is Top Fuel. It's been the one that I think about every single day. So kind of the pathway with that is I completed step one, which is competing in licensing and super comp. So you go from super comp dragster to top dragster, which just ups your speed. Basically, it goes faster. So I already did top dragster licensing, so I completed step one and step two. Then the next step, step three, would be top alcohol dragster, which is basically your last step. So to license and do well in that really says about the driver if they're going to do well in top fuel, because that's the next step. So after top alcohol dragster, it's top fuel, um, and then you're at the top. But top alcohol dragster is they go 5 seconds, like 5 teens, so like anywhere from 5.17 seconds in the quarter mile at 280. So it's a pretty quick class. You feel a lot of G's. It's very, very well. I mean, I can't really say much because I haven't been in them yet. But to the drivers I talked to, it's very, very similar to a top fuel dragster. Obviously, the only difference is speed. Because top fuel dragsters go 3 seconds at 340 plus miles an hour. So there's speed, but then a lot of drivers actually say that the top alcohol dragsters are harder to drive than the top fuel dragsters. They're a lot, I guess you could say, more rough, and they're not as smooth as the top fuel dragster is. So like when you're in a top fuel dragster, you have a butterfly steering wheel, which is basically just two knobs that are like this, and then it goes there. So it's not a full 360 wheel. And when you're like going down the track, you're making the smallest adjustments like this. Like if you have to go like this, you're flipping it and cutting in half and flying in the air, and it's kind of an up in the air question after that. But small adjustments you're making. Like in a top alcohol dragster, it's way more inputs you're having to put in as a driver. It's extremely like rough in terms of shaking, and just it's very violent, is what I've heard. But the next step for me is to license in top alcohol dragster, which I'm working on that. Hopefully in 2026 we'll do that, and then get ready to try and compete in top alcohol dragster, that being a full season or a part-time season, whatever it plays out to be, because there's a lot of work I got to do to be able to accomplish that. It's very expensive to race those cars, and then basically the next step would be top fuel, and you're at the top. It's pretty crazy just thinking about the steps and everything that you could take, but there could be so many ups and downs and years that go into making that happen, because there's not a lot of drivers that are doing what I'm doing in the sense of they're self-made, and they weren't born into the sport. Pretty much every driver is born into the sport. They're a second, third gen driver, and they have those mentors and connections, and with me, I don't have any of that. I'm just kind of doing it all on my own. So it's a pretty neat journey, I guess.
Well, dang, man. And you just knocked out our next question, too. So
I
there
was
we go.
fixing to
What
say
was
you just
that?
I know.
answered the next
Yeah.
thing.
The next question was asking about the different series and everything. So you just knocked that out, too.
Yeah.
So
Well, the
perfect.
different series meaning NHRA and Top Fuel and
Yeah, like how the process
yeah.
is going up.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we'll just
there's so much that you could do. I mean, even like if I was to go a pro mod route, which is what you guys you watched on Amazon Prime, which we had at my home track here in Bradenton. Pro mod is a very hard car to drive. In terms of you got to know what's going on in the car, and if you don't, you will easily crash it. Like those cars are wheeling 1,000 feet like the whole time. So if you're starting to veer towards the wall, you have to know so that you could pedal it, or you got to get off because the way those cars leave the starting line, it's pretty scary. I've seen a lot of scary crashes and things happen, and those cars are very hard to drive in terms of the driver actually having to put steering input in there, as well as knowing what's going on in the car because it's not it's not just get in and drive straight. It's there's a lot of moving parts that happen, and um, even there's slower classes in there. I don't know if you when you were watching Sean, there was a class called LDR, which is called it stands for limited drag radial. So it's basically pro mod cars, but instead of on a big tire, which is really wide, which is about like
yeah, were they a little bit smaller?
yep, they're smaller, but instead of on a slick tire, you want to plant the car and go like this. On a radial, you the goal is to have air separation in the rear, so as soon as you leave the line, your car is like this in the air. So the difference with that, it helps with mile per hour, which is what I run. I run a radial, so the goal is to have my car instead of launching and doing a wheelie, which is what I did this weekend. But the goal is to go like this, lift in the rear, and go like that because it pushes the car forward in an easier manner. But in LDR and Pro Mod, all these other cars that are set up, one of my good friends and the series owner was racing, and he has a carbon fiber drive shaft. And in these cars, your drive shaft and your transmission and converter are all sitting next to you, like openly. There's no floor covering it, there's no anything covering it. There's just a shield of metal that's thin that wraps around the drive shaft, and that's it. So I think it was maybe twice or just once this weekend, but his blew up on him, so he had carbon fiber go up, and the
Oh
whole
my
thing
God.
flew. There's an in-car video; it's all over online, and it was quite scary. But things like that happen too, and you just gotta like learn, and that's you can't just. A lot of people think, oh yeah, I can get in a pro mod. You can't. You got to work your way into it, knowing the speeds, and like I'm nowhere near getting into one. I know I'm not as much as I think I could be a good driver and drive one. You got to work your way into it, slowly going from I go 5 seconds in the quarter mile in the eighth mile, which is pretty fast. I go about 140 in 5 seconds. So these cars are going 210 in 3 seconds. So it's a big, big, big difference, and the drivability of the cars is totally different than what I'm used to. And if I wanted to go the pro mod route, I gotta, work my way up into it just as anybody else does. So it takes years of experience for anybody to want to progress in the sport and just keep growing. It's a long journey.
Well, I mean, shoot, talking about Pro Mod really quick. I mean, when I was watching those qualifyings, man, they were competitive. I'm not gonna lie. There was two drivers. I remember they did their first qualifying, and they had a bet on the line of like I think it was like 10 grand or something like that. and then it didn't get recorded, like the time,
I know
the
who
time didn't get.
exactly you're
You know what I'm
talking
talking
about.
about, right?
Yep.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then they hit each other. They went again with each other on the next qualifying, and they they squashed the beef and stuff. But I mean,
The
man,
beef isn't squashed. The beef isn't
no, you don't think
squashed.
so?
No, it's not.
Oh,
I know the drivers. So the driver that was in the purple pro mod, which is a pro charged pro mod, um, is Victor Alvarez, which is the owner of the track.
oh
So,
Wow.
man, here we
and
go.
he's betting, and it was 20 or 30 grand they bet, I
Yeah, I
believe it
couldn't
was,
remember, man. It was
because
just
they kept they
nuts.
Wow.
people kept adding to the
Wow.
grudge race, and then the other guy in the left lane was Stevie Fast Jackson, which is a very, very good driver, been driving Pro Mod for a handful of years, has championship cars and two other drivers that drive Pro Mod as well in the series. But um, what happened was the timing system like basically cut off, and then everybody started calling Victor out. They're like, "You own the track, you pulled this off," and they were trying to say that because the timing system got messed up, it said that Stevie won, even though Victor won the race. But Victor had a camera on top of his car, and you could see like clear as day he was first to the finish line. But everybody still is beefing in the comment sections of many Facebook posts, and it's still going on. And I don't think anybody's gotten paid yet, so we'll see how that plays
See, it's
out.
so funny because like watching like the interviews between them, they're
Yes.
oh yeah, the beef squash, everything's good, everything's cool, it's fine. So dang, hearing that, I'm like, dang, it's still going.
Yeah, it's still going.
It's
They'll
it's
probably make
competitive,
another ban.
man.
There's a lot of grudge races that happen in qualifying, because you got famous drivers. You've got people that just drive Pro Mod, and then you've got like people like John Force, not John Force himself, but Top Fuel drivers. Antron Brown, uh, one of the Top Fuel drivers, two-time world champion, racing in Pro Mod in Bradenton. It's a big deal. You got six-time world champion Erica Enders, the winningest
I was
woman
just gonna say,
in motorsports as a whole, winningest woman in motorsports, competing in Pro Mod, and she actually did pretty well this weekend. And then her teammate, Aaron Stanfield, they both drive professionally, coming down just to race Pro Mod because the series is huge, and it's so cool to be able to you get the mix of everybody. You get professional drivers. I don't know if you guys know what Street Outlaws is. It was a TV show for a few years where they have grudge racing, and a lot of drivers now are competing in the series. You got Kai Kelly, Murder Nova, um,
Yeah.
Martin's team, and you got all these different drivers, and it just it causes bets, and people want to start betting and doing grudge races, and that's what makes it fun for the fans. And obviously, the feuds are still going on, and the fans love it.
I was gonna say like we brought up Erica Enders. I mean, I remember growing up as a little kid watching Disney Channel and watching like their story about her and her sister. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Like when I saw that name, I was like, hold up, I get to see her race. Like this is sweet.
she's so awesome, and her sister is so awesome. Her sister is actually works for Flow, so she was on the camera doing interviews and stuff. But Erica actually drives for Elite Motorsports, which is the team that now has Tony driving their new Top Fuel car, to kind of put all the puzzle pieces back together. But this sport, everybody knows everybody, and everybody races each other and has some feuds, and then works together at the end of the day.
So with that being said, quick question for you, like what big name do you want to compete against one day?
Uh, um, there's so many because as I said, there's so many different drivers that compete in so many different classes. Um, in a specific class, in like say I'm racing in Top Fuel, I would love to drive against probably there's so many drivers I have to like think really hard about it. It's so hard. I would love to one day race Brittany Force, and like if I was to beat her, that would be a pretty big deal. Um,
Yeah.
or even Justin Ashley, because Justin Ashley is another Top Fuel driver. He's very hard to to win against because he has a really good reaction time. And then Brittany, of course, the fastest driver in the world. So if I could beat her, that would be pretty cool.
Right. Sweet, man. So you hear that, Brittany? He's coming for you one day.
Right.
One
Well,
day.
she's retired now, so we don't know.
Come out of retirement, girl.
Yeah. He's calling you out. He's calling you
Oh,
Uh,
well, shoot. All right. Well, then, is there any other like class of like motorsports that you would rather like want to try besides drag racing? Like an F1 or like a Formula Series or even NASCAR or something like that. Is there any interest there or no?
Yeah. Obviously, my huge focus and making things happen is in drag racing, but if I was presented the opportunity, honestly, to drive any race car, I most likely would. I really like. I've been intrigued by NASCAR recently because you guys know Cletus, I'm sure. Big
We're
YouTuber.
not big on we're not huge on NASCAR only for the fact like I lost interest
Yeah,
in
well, do
just
you
I know
guys
who
know
you're
I
talking about.
YouTubers? Cletus McFarland? Yeah, Michael knows. See,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Go
he
ahead.
just got into NASCAR. Yeah, he just got into NASCAR, so that kind of sparked an interest for me. Like, oh, this is pretty cool. I have a cousin that's actually racing in, I believe it's ARCA West,
okay.
the ARCA series. So, growing up, I was always around what he did and doing the road course stuff. I've done go karting before. I was horrible at it. I flipped like I don't even know how many times I could tell you. Um, but I also really, really like sprint car racing. I think that's cool. I've been watching a lot of like the
out.
Chili Bowl stuff that went on. And then obviously F1 is really, really cool. Those cars are fun to drive. I actually drive those cars on the sim a lot. I like
Wow.
love it. Yeah.
All right. All
Heck
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Like I'll
All
go
right.
to any track on there. Like I don't know like what tracks or what or whatever, but I'll go on any
Yeah.
track and every car I choose, any track I go on will be an F1 car just because I like the way the steering handles and the speed that you can go. I
Mhm.
did that. It's kind of addicting.
So what we're saying is that you need to get on some sim races and see if you can get in there with Max
With
and try to
Max,
get the
yeah.
car.
Yeah, maybe.
I
He's a
mean,
big sim
for a
guy.
sim guy, he looks for
He's
sim
got
guy.
his own sim team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that might be,
That's really
That'd be
cool.
cool.
I would love to go to an
Tim, you
F1
got,
race. I really want to go.
oh, dude,
Let's
us too,
do that.
man.
Oh, yes.
So my game plan is this year, my little one, I've got a little 7-year-old daughter, and she is a big, huge Max Verstappen fan, and
Okay.
she wants to go so bad. And we live in Fallon since we moved from North Carolina to here. And Vegas is like I think like an 8-hour drive. And so I told her that this year we'll take her because she really wants to go so bad.
It looks like a lot of fun. I don't know where I would want to sit because I just feel like you can't. That's why I just say drag racing is the best because you could see everything. Like when I go to NASCAR races or when I go to like any road course race, like at Daytona, I've been to and other big tracks. Like I can't see anything. It's like I don't know where to sit because I'm like I want to see the whole thing. So wherever the highest spot, I guess, so I could watch the whole thing.
Bro. Hey, who's your biggest supporter, like besides your sponsors?
Oh, my family.
Who's
My
your
family.
family?
They're very
Yeah.
supportive. A lot of parents in racing, you'll see, is the parents are playing out their career for them. They're doing it all. They're the ones that are making the social posts. They're the ones that are doing the emails. My parents do none of that. They haven't told me like go join Bishops now. Go drive this car next. Go ask this sponsor to be a sponsor next. They just are so supportive and half the time they don't know what I'm doing until I do it, and that's just the way I work. But their support of knowing like I could make it happen and kind of just rolling with the punches with me is a lot of fun, and getting to race back home with them is a lot of fun. It's because it's where I started, and it's a family sport. Drag racing is a huge family sport, and getting to do it with them is a lot of fun.
Sweet.
So,
before we go into our formula questions, Jordan, do you ever race on the West Coast?
If I was to do a full season in Top Alcohol Dragster, I was actually just looking at the schedule yesterday. I believe I would.
What what's what's the closest to Nevada, Jordan? Because
Let me
I'd be
see.
interested in coming to watch it.
Can you still see me?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm gonna
yeah.
just look up the schedule real quick. So,
So Jordan, if you don't know, yeah, Sean's in Nevada, and then me and Michael are in North Carolina,
okay, so North Carolina I would definitely be at.
somewhere close to Charlotte or something.
Yeah, Charlotte Motor Speedway I would actually be at.
Okay.
Or I guess they have a different name for the drag strip, or if that's the name for it, I believe.
No, what do they call that? I know what you're talking about. I've always wanted to go there because they actually run four wide, which is
Yes,
something
yes,
that they ain't never done before.
yes. It's very hard to run four wide. Honestly like the first
Well,
time
we
I do
imagine.
that, I'm gonna be very nervous. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Um, so we have Florida, California, Concord, North Carolina, Illinois.
Concord's not far away.
No, you're dude. Concord's an hour and 40 minutes from us. So,
Yeah, what? Let me see.
do you post your schedule on your LinkedIn or any of your social
Yeah,
media?
I try to.
Okay.
It just is one of those up in the air things. Like this year, normally I would know like what I'm doing on the NHRA side, like with Bishops, but I was in the middle of a big deal and then the deal fell through. So we're working on some other deals for other things, and there's like a lot of other different things I'm going to be doing this year. So it's in the works. So once I really know, then everybody will know. But I do definitely plan on competing with Bishops once or twice this year because the summertime I have more of a free schedule and racing here in Bradenton because once the summer hits in Florida, there's really no events. So that's when NHRA starts. So then I'm able to actually go away and race with Bishop. So I'll probably do like one or two races with them, and then I start the series back up here pretty much right away. So far, 2025 and into 2026, I raced once or twice every single month, which for drag racing it's a lot because it's just you're at the track pretty much from Monday to Monday, pretty much because of qualifying
Gotcha.
and everything. So it's a lot.
Well, let's dive right into those because we're a big Formula One podcast type deal. So, Michael, why don't we hit him with the question right off the bat with Formula One?
All right. So, who would you say is your favorite driver and favorite team? And they can be different if you want them to be.
Uh, I watched Drive to Survive. It's been a while. I was actually kind of hooked onto it, I'm not gonna lie. And that was like my first time really ever watching a race or ever like doing any of that. Um, Top two teams, Ferrari and the Red Bull team. I really like Max Verstappen. I like his attitude. A lot of people hate his attitude, but I like his attitude, and I think every sport needs a driver the way he thinks, because he thinks he's unstoppable, and sometimes he's a little cocky, but I think it's what any motorsport needs. And I really like Charles Leclerc. Leclerc, yeah.
Leclerc?
Leclerc.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like his. I feel like I liked his story in the show, and I like the way he won. What is that? That race that like a year ago before his father passed away. Um,
Oh, what
it
was
was the
that?
race in
Is that the
Italy.
Monza? The Monza race?
Monza or
No, it was in
Monaco?
the streets of Italy.
Monaco.
Monaco. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Monaco
When he
race.
won
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monaco, I think that was pretty cool. Um, And then, I mean, I know about a lot of the other teams, but it's just really one of those things I feel like in F1 specifically, it's like there's your top teams, and those are the only teams that are ever going to do good. Um,
What we're hoping it's a little different this year with the whole new rule changes and the new
Yeah.
cars. And,
I like that
Yeah.
USA is getting back into it with Cadillac. I think it's very cool.
Cadillac, man.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
very cool.
They got, they brought in Valtteri Bottas. They brought
Yeah.
in Sergio Perez, two drivers that we all think should be number one drivers that have always been stuck at number two.
Yeah, I think another thing, like on the NASCAR side, there's this kid, he's actually my age, really, really accomplished driver, like really good. He's debuting in NASCAR, like the top series, I guess that's Xfinity. His name is Connor Zilic. Maybe you guys know of him, maybe you don't, but he does road course racing too. He just did the 24 hours of, I don't know what they had.
Oh, was it just recently?
Yeah, it was just in Daytona this weekend.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the
that's
24 hours down in Daytona. Okay.
Yeah.
And last year he won the Rolex race, and then he's won
Nice.
8 out of his like 10 NASCAR races that he did in ARCA, and a lot of people, and he's always expressed interest in F1, and a lot of people are talking about how he may, join Cadillac maybe because I don't know, and he's already partnered with Red Bull too. They're one of his sponsors too, so I don't know if
Sweet.
like,
Oh. Yeah.
that's something that comes to fruition, but I think that would be pretty cool.
Hey man, they can throw him as a reserve driver for RB
They
and
sure
then slowly
could.
get him in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So this is definitely a big question, right? We want to ask you if you had to pick a winner for the World Drivers' Championship, who would it be?
Honestly, the only 2 drivers I can think of is probably the drivers that I only named, Charles and Max. I think who's that guy? Ugh. I don't know if he's won a championship. Ricardo?
Oh,
Daniel-
Daniel
Daniel-
doesn't race no more.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
race anymore, but I don't know if he has a championship or not, but I would have loved him to win a championship because I think he
Good old
deserved
Daniel.
it. Is that him?
Yeah.
That's Daniel
Yeah.
in Monaco.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the last time he won a race.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I saw he's partnered
He's
with
one of
Ford
our-
Racing now here in the U.S. He was just at the
Yeah,
big
he's doing a lot
Ford
with them.
conference, doing some stuff with them. But I wish he
Yeah.
would have won because I saw his story and the way they portrayed it,
dude.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Char. I
Yeah.
love Daniel.
Yeah,
He was one of the people that got me in to Formula
Yeah.
One. His attitude, and then Red Bull. That's what got me hooked.
yeah. I liked his attitude too. It was different than everybody else's. He's upbeat, funny, and he
Oh, yeah.
seemed like a good driver too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should have never left Red Bull.
No, should not.
Nope.
So who do you think, Max or Charles then?
I know. We got to know.
We gotta know, man.
Yep. Which
Uh,
one?
Charles. I think Max has
Alright.
had enough of winning. Sometimes it's enough.
Wow.
Or sometimes he needs to get reminded that, sometimes maybe he's not the best. And that's how a lot of championships in like NHRA are. Like, you'll be a 2-time champion in a row, and then you go 10 years without winning a championship, and then, you get it back, and it makes you want to work harder for it. So I think that's cool. But I have a question for you guys, because I just thought about it.
Give it to me.
Yeah,
Wow.
go
What
ahead.
did you guys think
Here we go.
about the switch up when Lewis Hamilton left Mercedes for Ferrari? Or if I'm
Bad move. Bad move, dude. Bad move. 100%.
Worst move ever.
Anyone that goes to Ferrari
Yeah,
after having
that
40
was not-
championship
that was not
wins,
good.
they die. They die in red.
Yeah, I don't
And they're
know.
saying right now that Ferrari's not going to have a good car this year.
Ooh,
Right. It's rumors.
So your Leclerc prediction, buddy, pretty
okay.
rough.
It's bold. It's bold.
I
It's a
like,
bold
Yeah.
I like the kid though that is on Mercedes, Kimi Antonelli.
Kimi
Oh,
Antonelli,
yeah.
such an up and comer,
He's
man.
I
Good.
like that he's young. I like that he's young and doing it, like the youngest I think ever to get into F1. So
Yeah.
I think that's like really really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep your pick on that one. All right.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, who do you think is going to be the Constructors' Championship winner? So, which team is going to take number one?
Who took it last year? I don't know.
McLaren.
Yeah,
I thought
McLaren
so.
did.
And Lando won the World Series Championship last year,
Okay.
too, by like 3 points.
Yep. Max almost.
Max lost it out.
What is it? Just based off of points? Like,
Yeah, so it goes by the both drivers. So both are like number one and number two drivers, which they only have two. They every race they race it, they gain their points, and at the end of the year, it's
Okay.
whoever has the most points team wise.
probably Red Bull or Ferrari. But
All right.
if Red Bull has half of a decent year, it'll be Red Bull. They'll just close the deal, I guess.
You just made Tim's heart a little bit happier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of hurt me a second ago. You know, we were just getting to like you, but you made
Tim's a
up.
huge Max fan, man.
Oh yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's huge into Max. So with that, okay. So Tim, go ahead. I know you really want to ask the question.
Oh, yeah.
so bad.
So as soon as Sean told us that we were going to actually get to do this interview with you, are you aware that there is another DaCosta that actually races in Formula? But it's in Formula E.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
And
I didn't know if you knew
which
that.
is the electric, right?
The electric.
The full
Yeah,
electric.
it's
Didn't they
electric.
just come out with that?
It
They've
was
been out-
actually they're in there what? Well,
12th season, yeah, but it's just now starting to get bigger.
Oh, of Formula
and
E.
just
12th
Yeah,
just,
Formula
just,
E.
you know, it's
What's
down
the
in
first name?
it's down in Miami this weekend.
Yeah, it is.
What's the first name?
Oh God, what is it like?
Ah, hold on.
So we're freshly into Formula E, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know
But
a
I'm
couple
pretty
of
su-
drivers, influencers, actually a drag
I
racer.
think it's Felix DaCosta.
Felix.
Okay.
I think you're right.
I'll look him up, see if I
Yeah,
ever heard of him.
Antonio.
But I'm definitely not
Felix.
related to him.
Antonio Felix DaCosta.
Yeah.
It was just a coincidence, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really heard of the last name other than mine. It's pretty rare to hear the last name.
Yeah.
But there's actually a drag racer in Formula E, or was in Formula E in 2025, Amelia Hartford. I forget specifically what team or whatever, but I know that she did Formula E in 2025, and she's a drag racer
Cool.
and a huge influencer. She's an actress and does all this media stuff. It's pretty cool.
So well, with question of a female coming up, I have a question for you, Jordan. So you have a lot of females in drag racing, and we actually just got our first female in Formula One, and she's a test driver this year. So she competed in F1 Academy, which is the ladies division, and she won it. What was it last year, Tim?
I believe
I think
so.
she won it last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So her name is Dorian Pin, but she
What's her
just
last
jumped
name?
in there. Pin, Pin.
Oh, okay.
So she is now the first ever Formula One female to get into a team. She's with Mercedes. She's going to be their test driver this year.
That's awesome.
I think she's going to eventually be in that seat or in a seat here soon. If it was you, would you take a chance on one of these F1 Academy girls and put them as your reserve driver? So you have your two drivers, you have one of your two, then you have your reserve. So if somebody's sick or hurt or whatever, they come in, and then you have a test driver. So would you bring her in as a reserve, or would you just bring someone in straight into a car?
I'd
What's
bring
your thoughts
someone
on
in
that?
straight to a car. I mean, I think what's the point of F1 Academy if you're not going to let a woman drive the car? So
100%.
I've actually been wondering that
100%.
because I know some of the girls that are in F1 Academy. I've seen their socials and stuff, and I've wondered I mean, how long does it take until you get to that point? And I've not seen anybody in that position
Wow.
yet. So I feel like it's bound to happen sooner or later,
Dude,
because if they have the academy, what's the point of it if you're not going to get to the top, you know?
I
Yeah.
can't wait for a female to actually sit in a Formula One car and be on the starting grid. I think that's going to be so exciting.
It's going to be cool.
And I think Dorian will do it. And I think besides her, I think I can see Abby Pulling eventually coming in. I think Abby won it this year in F1 Academy. But man, them girls are coming out strong. And when they're racing, I've seen a couple of their races. They're wide open, man, compared to these boys.
Crazy.
And typically, some girls are lighter than guys, so
Yes. Yes.
they go faster.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool to see. It would change that, specific sport, immensely. So, and it would be a great impact, inspiring other young girls to, follow their dreams.
Heck yeah, man. And I think there it too. I saw an article just recently that I think Abby Pulling and I think another female driver are going to be driving one of the maybe Formula E cars this upcoming weekend as like a test. But don't quote me on that. But I think it's exciting. Get them in the race car, man.
Yeah. Put them in.
Heck yeah, why not? Let's see what they got.
Yeah.
Well, boys, it's a good podcast. Jordan, thank you for coming on
Yeah, of
and
course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
everything.
man.
I mean, that was exciting. You're our first ever driver interview, man. So
keep I mean they do well. I've done a lot of these with other podcasters, I guess you would call them. I've had a podcast to myself for quite some time, but I hung that up because it's just a lot. It's a lot. And between me trying to do my socials and other business stuff, it's hard to do, but it's a lot of fun. If you guys could, continue it and you like interviewing drivers, people that are in the business side, I mean, you could just go on LinkedIn and just add every single person that works in Formula One, works in NHRA, NASCAR, whatever you guys want. And more than likely, like you'll get like the marketing manager of Red Bull Racing to maybe take an interview, and that'll be pretty cool. So I've seen a lot of podcasts, built from the ground up, and I think you guys could make something pretty cool with all the series that you guys are involved in and loving. And
heck yeah, man. Well, thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Well, sweet. Well, we'll end it right there with a little bit of music. Give me 1 second to put it out.